Hey, Tasha.
Hello.
So, before I ask you how your week was, I want to tell you about some weird bullshit that happened to me
Okay.
at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my.
It was
The
December
witching
5th,
hour.
so it was Tuesday.
The witching hour on a
It
Tuesday.
was 2:58 a.m., and I remember because I actually had to look at my phone for this.
Okay.
So, I kind of started to come to, and all I could hear was a voice consistently saying, "Can you actually? Can you actually? Can you actually? Can you actually?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
That's weird.
And I looked down, and I looked over at my phone, and I can tell that that's where the sound's coming from, but I don't see anything on the phone. So I'm like, that's weird. I picked up my phone, turned it on. I still hear the sound coming from my phone, but there's nothing on the screen except for my regular apps and everything. I hit the middle button to bring up all the, windows that I had open.
Yep.
Nothing seemed to be a thing that could be bringing that up.
That is
so
freaky.
I just closed everything and it stopped.
That is freaky.
Yeah. I was like, I don't. And so I had a dream just before that was really disturbing. And I was like, I don't like this. So I was like, I'm going to sit up for a little while.
Yeah, man. How could you go to sleep after that? I'd be up in terror. I'd be waking up Nesto.
Which is weird because, normally I don't sleep at night. But lately, over the last 2 weeks, I've been sleeping overnight. I've been sleeping from midnight to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And then during the couple of weeks that I actually slept, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with that going on after a terrible dream.
That.
So, how was your week?
My week was interesting. I started off pretty prepared, school-wise anyway. I'm not prepared for the upcoming holidays at all. I have nothing for the kids. But anyways, they'll get stuff. But school-wise, I was kind of prepared until I forget what day it was that I texted you, and I was like, guess what I was up doing late last night?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember what day that was, but I was up like a crazy person until midnight, figuring out what's it called? The logistics of a roll for blank adventure. But yeah, I'm doing that at school with a bunch of freshmen in high school. A roll for blank adventure. Mm-hmm. And they could end up in 6 places. Well, this has already happened. So I have since, like a mad woman, come up with the idea and then also I have begun to implement it. It was a hit with one of my classes. And the other classes kind of liked it, and one class did not like it. I'm going to try and win them over. But they can win. Okay, so with the adventure, they can end up in 6 different places. So my first period ended up in the Arctic tundra. My 4th period ended up in the desert dunes.
Okay.
My 5th period ended up in a mystical forest. And my 8th period ended up in... Oh, I might have gotten them mixed up. One of them's in the mystical forest, and another one's in a jungle.
Oh.
I think that was the other
So
one.
kind of like a forest, but not really.
Right. Tropical.
Yeah. So...
Think. But yeah.
Current me would be super excited about this. But...
Teenage
me would be like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Oh yeah, I keep getting it. Why are we doing this, miss? Because it's fun.
I mean, because as you know, my introduction to D&D was, hey, come over and play D&D. And I said, no, because I'm not a fucking nerd. So
yes, as I stated on another podcast, yes.
Yeah, so up until then, I was safely, aware that I was not a nerd.
Okay, so yeah, my kids are starting to get more into it whenever I. Okay, so I still haven't figured out how to choose who's rolling because in this adventure, I'm I'm considering the whole class as one person. So it's like we're all going on it together because we're all one person in the game.
Right.
So it's like 25 of us playing one character in game. So breaking up decisions and stuff, I've had to be creative with ways that they choose who makes what decision. So one way I've done it is playing like trash ball. They have to shoot
A ball of paper into the trash can.
Whoever shoots their trash ball in first wins the chance to roll the decision.
Oh, okay.
I've also tried out rock, paper, scissors. That was really simple. But I need to get more creative with different ways because I think that's getting stale. And I'm only doing this at like the beginning of each class, so like we're not doing the adventure all class period. It's just like the first 10 minutes of class.
I think because you're an English teacher, you could do English trivia questions to start off.
I like that idea.
You could be like, all right, who wrote Romeo and Juliet? You know, obviously not something that simple, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. That's actually perfect. Yep, I'm going to do that now. And I'll tell everybody to thank my friend Dustin.
No, you just tell him you did
it. I hate it when I say, okay, guess what, guys? I'm stealing an idea from another teacher. And they're like, oh my God, what is it now? And sometimes it's like a new idea for an activity, or a way we do a lesson, or a way I grade. And they're like, Miss, just use your own stuff. And I was like, no, it's not plagiarizing if I credit the person. This is Shelby's idea.
Well, see, if you told them it was me, you couldn't tell them it was a teacher. You could just be like, oh, this person I know.
Mm-hmm. This rando.
Yeah.
That I was passing by on the street.
Miss Hobo. This homeless man.
And they'd be like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're a crazy English teacher. Fucking us up again.
Yeah.
On some hobo shit.
I actually really liked English class when I was in it. I didn't like the reading portion of it, though. Because I didn't like reading out loud in class.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought you did, like reading out loud.
I would do it to get it over with as quick as possible because I knew that if I got mine out of the way...
I remember you telling me this.
I was like, nope, I'm good.
Yep.
So.
Good checks. But yeah, now he does voices and shit in D&D, so that's why knee-jerk me thinks, I feel like you read out loud with gusto.
No.
As a teenager. But maybe not.
Mm-mm. I was shy as shit in school.
I was too, kind of. I was in choir, but that doesn't really count. I was with a group of people.
Yeah.
Though I did try out for some solos, never got it. And I did try out for a part in a musical. Oh my God. I tried out for a part in a musical. We were going to do High School Musical. I was serious about this, Dustin.
Okay.
I did Nora Jones. Come Away With Me.
Oh, okay. It's not the song I would have expected, but okay.
They never told us how long we had for this audition. I only had like 30 seconds. And like, I was building up to, you know, like the grand, and I want to wake up with the rain. You know, all that.
Yeah.
Never got there. I was building up to it. And I heard one of my choir teachers going, what is she doing? I was like, that was great. So that was a hit to my ego. And then they cut me off before I hit the, you know, the build-up.
Yeah.
The critical climax. Right. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's it? And they're like, thank you. I was like, well, fuck. In my brain. And I was like, no, nobody's going to get to see how, you know, beautiful of a singer I am. And I was pissed about it for the rest of the school year.
I don't know. Whenever I think of her, I think about that song, I Don't Know Why I Didn't Come, whichever the song that is.
Call.
I thought it was Come. Because she's talking about he waited at the beach for her.
Mm-hmm. Left you by the house above.
Yeah.
Don't know why
I didn't come.
Call.
No, she says come.
Did she say that?
Yeah, because she's like, I didn't come to see you.
Don't know what. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably right. That makes more sense. It's been a while since I listened to Nora.
I actually listened to that song like 3 days ago.
Huh.
In the car.
Well, now I feel like I need to listen to Nora.
Yeah.
Well, I have listened to a Nora song recently, but not that song. I
listened to it. Weirdly enough, it came on by accident because I was actually listening to Michael Bublé. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to some of the older like songs, like his song Sway and Cuando, Cuando, Cuando. And then
Make me sway. That song?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Cuando.
It's him and Nelly Furtado. And it's tell me when will you be mine? Tell me quando, quando, quando we could share a love divine. Anyway,
sounds
but
like a good song.
It is. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, it's all those old standards from like the 40s, 50s, whatever. And her song came on right after that, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Forgot all about her.
Yeah, I loved Nora's earlier work.
Yeah,
I loved it all. Still bummed. Anytime I think about that, still bummed about it.
Well, all right. Should we get into it?
Yes.
All right. Hit them with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What Am Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with
Dustin.
And we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams. Yeah, Shazam. Shazam.
Huzzah.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's go with that one.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I've had quite a bit of dreams since we last recorded. I'll go ahead and start with the short one. This one I titled, and I've been titling my dreams lately to remember them by 3 words. So my 3 words to remember this dream was new mansion window. I dreamt I lived in a mansion, but it was kind of dilapidated and falling apart. And we had to repair a window. So I remember just standing outside from the ground, looking up to like the 2nd or 3rd story of this mansion that I now lived in, looking at a window like, well, fuck, we need to repair this one. Because I guess it was blasted out or something. It was wrong. The window was wrong. So we needed to repair it. And that's all I remember of that one.
that really was short. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, was it like supposed to be a stained glass window or something, or?
Yeah, I think it was actually. I mean, it wasn't stained, but it was one of those that was. And I'm drawing in the end. I know you can't see it, but it was tall, thin, and also round top.
Okay, I can't picture it.
So I don't know what those are called, but it was one of those. Tall, thin, and round top.
Well, that really was a very short.
Yeah. Anytime I dream of living in a new house, like a new and bigger house, there's always something wrong with it. Something weird.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with a dream that reminds me of you.
Okay.
Because of dreams that you've had in the past.
Okay.
Okay. So I had a dream that there were spiders all over my bathroom.
Oh, right? Shit.
And we were getting rid of all of them, but there was this one really big one, and we had got him and put him in this like big container, And, like, I guess we had him sitting next to the toilet. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting on the toilet, like, pooping. No.
Toilets.
And the spider somehow popped out of the container and fell into the toilet, like, between my legs.
Like a double-decker?
A double... What?
What? I don't know what it is, really.
An upper decker is when you poop in the tank, not in the toilet. And no.
And double decker is like when somebody sits on your lap and then takes a poop.
I have never heard of that.
Right?
I have never heard of that.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think that's a thing. Okay. I think you're making things up, and I don't like it.
All right, continue with your double decker spider.
Anyway, so the spider like shoots between my legs, and I jumped up and tried to flush him. Then water started coming out of the bottom of the toilet, not like out of the top. It came out of the bottom area.
Still!
And there was just a ton of poo coming out of the bottom of the toilet.
It's awful.
It was very gross. And so, like, I climbed up on the side of the tub because, like, it was just like literally filling all of the floor.
My eyebrows literally twitching.
And I was sitting there trying to figure out how I was going to get rid of all of this poo because it was just so much.
Oh my God!
It was just so much. But that was when I woke up.
In a state of panic.
Yeah. I was very panicked because I was like, "Oh, there's so much poo."
I don't like that dream.
It reminds me of your dreams, though.
Yeah. I fucking hate those kinds of dreams.
Yeah.
Shit everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been a while. I think it's transferring to you.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, like, what it could all represent. And I was like, is my life going to shit? Is that what it is? Because I think that's maybe what it is.
You know, spiders and spiders.
Yeah, spiders and shit. It's just spiders and shit all the way down.
Spiders and shit. Spiders and shit.
This is a new song we're going to make up.
Uh-huh.
For a new musical.
All the way down.
Yeah, so that was a fun dream.
Well, that's fucking awful.
It was very awful.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about a little dream of mine that I entitled Little Boy Spirit. I lived in a mansion. I think it was a continuation of the window mansion thing.
Okay.
So it might have been a continuation of that. I'm not sure.
Little kid ghosts always freak me out. Go ahead.
Yeah. In this mansion, there was a wall. No, this is before that. I'm getting mixed up. This might be all mixed in together in the same dream. For some reason, in my dream, I knew that there was a spirit of a little boy who lived in some sort of object in the house.
Okay.
And we had to find it and help him.
Oh.
So I just remember, this is also short. I just remember in the dream looking around in a room in the mansion with, like, furniture everywhere. So, like, tables and chairs strewn about. And a bunch of different knickknacks and objects on top of tables. You know what it reminds me of now that I'm thinking about it? You remember that old
Yes.
Wizard of Oz?
The original Wizard of Oz?
No.
Then no.
It was one of the ones where there was a...
Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my.
No. Yeah.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No. There was a scene in this one where there was, like, a big stone-looking face. And they had to choose, like, Dorothy had to choose, like, the right goblin. Oh, and there were the Wheelers. Do you remember the Wheelers?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I have never heard of this.
It's one of the Wizard of Oz's.
I don't think it is.
Now I have to look it up.
This sounds like another fever dream you've had.
No. Yep. So you haven't seen it?
I have not seen it.
Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
right,
only
so not
in passing.
completely crazy.
Well,
but anyways, that one freaked me out as a kid, especially with this giant face talking, and the Wheelers were freaky looking.
I don't know. For me, like I liked stuff like Labyrinth and Neverending Story. Those were where my childhood was.
But yeah, the Gnome King. He was not cool. Wheelers, not cool. Anyways, that's what my dream reminded me of, because there were objects in one of the scenes that Dorothy had to choose from. She had to make the right choice or all was lost.
Okay. And you never figured out which object the kid was in?
Nope. I did not.
Well, we just never finish our dreams, do we?
No. But I do think this one continued.
Okay.
Into what I titled Mummy and Wall.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I remember looking around. Here's why I think they're connected, because I feel like it was in the same room with a bunch of furniture and items strewn about. Next. But in the wall, there was a secret opening in one of the walls near the window. Maybe it was that window. Anyways.
To the window?
Yeah.
The wall?
No. the tall, thin window with the rounded top. Oh, okay. Okay. And in this secret opening, like it slid up like a garage door. And inside you could see what looks like a mummy. Or at least remains of a dead human. And I remember thinking, and I was looking at it with someone who was there with me, and I think we were doing like an inspection of the house.
So all of a sudden you're a realtor, real estate inspector?
Or that the person with me was, and it was my house. I remember turning to this person who was with me, and I was like, well, this is gonna stink. Like a literal stench. I was like, well, we're gonna have to take care of this. Because the smell. That was all I was concerned about, really.
Depends on the level of decomposition, though.
Right.
And if it was preserved well. If it was a mummy, it probably didn't stink.
Yeah. It was pretty leathery.
Probably didn't stink at all then.
Maybe not. But I was concerned about the smell.
No, I mean, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
You found a dead person in a wall.
And that was it. But I was like, dead person was not a big thing. I was like, okay, there's a mummy in the wall. Wow, this is gonna fucking stink. Yeah.
That was your biggest concern.
Yeah.
Not, oh man, now we need to get the police because we got to find out why this dead person's here.
Mm-hmm.
It was, damn, this is going to smell bad.
How do we handle this smell?
Well, I'll tell you what you need to do. You got to wear one of those like surgical masks, and then you've got to put either a little bit of lavender on the inside, or you can spray it with stuff. What?
Where'd you hear this from?
No, it's a common thing that, so people who have to deal with like really nasty wounds and stuff like that might be gangrenous, they'll do stuff like that. Or like, having to clean bandages and stuff.
Like the plague doctors?
No, I mean like current people who work in like nursing homes.
They still do that kind of thing?
Yes. They don't wear plague masks.
Oh, I know. But that's what they wore in the plague masks.
Well, yeah. But I mean, there's a reason they did it. It was so, because that smell will still seep through there unless you have something. Well, you can spray like, sprays on the inside of it. Mm-hmm. Or you can put something on the inside of it that's actually going to smell. Mm-hmm. Lavender is one of the better things.
Good to note.
I don't know how we got here.
That's the end of that dream.
All right. I'll go with another short one. I was visiting a small town, and every Saturday night, the entire town would basically be empty, except for one place. Okay. Like, everybody in the town would always go to this place. and it was the local Dairy Queen. But they weren't inside the Dairy Queen. They were around the back and like in this little barn area. It was well after the Dairy Queen was supposed to be closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 a.m., something like that.
Okay.
Turns out that every Saturday night, this place hosted cockfights. Yeah. Oh. And so, like, I got there and I was like watching chickens fight. And that's when I woke up.
All right.
Just watching cockfights. I was like, okay.
That's it. No bets placed. No.
No, I didn't. I barely walked in the door and noticed what was happening.
Noticed the excitement and then fucking woke up. Yeah. What is with our dreams just ending at the beginning?
Right. I had no idea.
Lame. What the fuck, brain?
Tell you what, that Rice Krispie treat was good, though.
Yeah, it was.
It was very sweet.
Well made, Dustin.
Thank you. I followed the recipe.
Speaking of recipes, I have a dream entitled Accidental Leg Fry.
Yes, I saw the text message that mentioned it by name.
So ridiculous.
So curious. But I thought I'd wait to find out.
You're about to find out. Okay. So in this dream, it's also very short. In this dream, I am cooking in a wok.
Wait. You're cooking or you are cooking? Like, are you in the wok being cooked?
Okay, you're jumping ahead of my dream.
Oops.
I meant to say I was cooking with a wok. Okay. It's a big wok. Lately, I've been binge watching Rose. You should follow her on Facebook. Rose and Anzai, living country life. Anyways, she always cooks in a giant wok. Like, maybe, I guess it's maybe like 2 feet wide. It's still pretty big. 2-3 feet wide.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it was a big wok. I was frying up oil, right? Mm-hmm. And I had things on the side ready to put into the oil. It was already hot, and it was like, doing the oil cracking.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and threw, I guess I was cooking what seemed to be crab legs in my dream.
Okay.
Into the wok. And they were frying up. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly, I don't know who it was. There was like another person in my dream who was standing like in front of me, behind, like on the other side of the wok, and they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm frying, frying my crab legs. And they're like, you're frying your crab legs. And I had crab legs. And they were frying in front of me, in my face. And okay, so how many legs do crabs have? Because I had a lot of legs.
I think have at least 8.
Okay, I had a lot of legs.
Okay,
way over 8. I'd say several dozens of legs, and some of them were fried, and some of them were not. And I looked at my legs frying in the wok, which also looked like crab legs. My legs were crab legs frying in the wok. There were also, other crab legs frying in the wok. And I looked at my legs, and I looked in the wok, and I looked at the person across from me, and I was like, oh shit, I accidentally fried my legs. Oh shit.
So nonchalant about it. Oh shit, look at this, I'm frying my legs.
And I looked up at the person, and the person looked at me, and we both just started laughing. And that was the end of the dream.
It sounds like how some of my dreams end, where it's just, and then we started laughing, and that was it. Jesus.
I don't know what that was about. No idea.
What's funny to me is, like, you didn't feel pain at all.
No.
You didn't even notice until someone else called attention to it. It reminds me of that scene in Grandma's Boy. Have you watched that movie?
No.
So it's an Adam Sandler, not Adam Sandler, Happy Madison movie.
Oh.
And it's one of the guys that's always in his movies. He's going to buy pot from his dealer, and the dude opens the door naked except for a Santa hat. And he was like, what are you doing? And he's like, Merry Christmas. And he's like, it's July. And why are you naked? And he looks down and goes, oh my God, I am naked. Come on in. That just reminds me of like you would, oh my God, I am frying my legs. All right. Let's serve these bad boys up.
I gotta say, that is one of the most bizarre dreams I remember having.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Let's go with one of the disturbing dreams that I had. Okay, so the disturbing dream that I had was it really freaked me out when it happened. Mm-hmm. So but I was able to kind of like piece together why I think I had the dream. So we'll start with the dream first. So I could hear this like buzzing sound coming from this like dresser, that I had. It was actually my mom's dresser. And so like I found it, and it was this old cell phone that we had, like one of those flip phones from way back, I don't know, almost 20 years ago now, and I found it, and it was ringing. And I was like, well, that's weird. This cell phone hasn't been working in that many years. Now, in this dream, I had the feeling that my mom was a psychiatrist, which I don't know why. Like, she stopped studying psychology forever ago to become a nurse instead. Okay. Anyway, so I picked up the phone, and I knew it was my mom's old phone. And so I answered, or I, flipped it up, and I answered, and all I could hear on the other end was somebody crying, and he was saying, I need you, Doc. I need you. I need you, Doc. And I was like, who is this? And they wouldn't answer me. And I was like, this cell phone should not be working. This cell phone is almost 20 years old, and it shouldn't be working anymore. And then I also mentioned that my mom wasn't a psychologist anymore, or a psychiatrist anymore. And then all of a sudden I heard the phone go quiet, and I heard a really loud bang. Yeah.
You just gave me a shudder.
And that's when I woke up.
Like a literal shudder.
Now, so it freaked me out, because I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? What was that dream about? I was watching Boy Meets World when I fell asleep.
Doesn't explain anything.
I'll get there.
What you do?
I'll get there.
Stuff on Boy Meets World. Okay.
So it's the episode where Sean's dad dies. Spoiler for a show that ended in 2000. But during the episode where Sean's dad dies, before he dies, Sean is saying, I need you, Dad. I need you. And I think that slipped into my subconscious as I need you, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Still. That was a little less freaky, but still freaky.
Yeah. So I was like, thank God this episode is on, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep right now.
No, I bet. I probably still wouldn't either.
But yeah.
Okay, so this reminded me of two dreams that you've had before.
Okay.
One of them it involved like a tree and a psychiatrist.
Yes. Or it was a wedding that I was at, and they had hired a psychiatrist to do therapy sessions. Yeah, I remember that one. And
then the other one was... Remind me how your dream started.
This one?
Yeah.
There was a phone ringing in a dresser.
Oh, and it was buzzing.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't.
It was the phone that was buzzing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember you heard a ringing in that one dream you had that we talked about with Jeannie. Was it ring? It was a buzzing. Buzzing or ringing.
I don't remember which one we're talking about.
The one with Jeannie where you talked about the wall.
Oh, that was actually just like shaking. Like there was a really loud like rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that one freaked me the fuck out too. That one was like, I'm going back to church. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
That's quite intense still.
Sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it also reminded me of The Sixth Sense. Spoiler alert.
He was dead the whole time. That reminds me. So, Nate Bargatze. Like, have you seen the bit that he did about The Sixth Sense on his most recent stand-up special?
No.
He was talking about it. He was marriage is hard, man. He goes, apparently we all watched Sixth Sense. He goes, spoiler, he's dead the whole time. He was like, we watched that whole movie and thought his wife was just ignoring him for a whole year. And we were like, yeah, I know what he's going through. We believed that before we believed he was dead. And he goes, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, did they show him die? Yeah. In the first 5 minutes of the movie, dude shoots him. And we still were like, yeah, she's not talking to him. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
I need to watch his new stand-up.
It's funny. What is the name of this? I actually do not remember what the name of that one is.
Also look it up.
But I think it's on Prime.
Not Netflix?
No.
Is that writer's thing still going on, I wonder?
No, it's off now.
Okay. All right. This one's a short one because I only vaguely remember it. I feel like more happened. But, okay. Here's my dream. I remember in my dream, I was talking to Michael Jackson, but he was young. So, he was black. He had a fro. And he was talking to me about getting a nose job. And I was saying, I don't think you need it, man.
If only he had taken your advice.
That's all I remember of that dream.
Why are your dreams so short?
I don't know. Well, I feel like there might have been more, but I don't remember it.
Legitimately, the 3 words that you texted me is all you needed to tell me the dream.
Yeah. It's just me saying, no, I don't think you need it.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, man.
I had another dream that was right after that one, where I remember being in choir. This one I titled Pills Choir Freshman.
Okay.
I remember being in choir. No. I was in a school, and I wanted to be in choir.
Okay.
I was a teenager again, I think. I was either a teenager or a college kid. I don't know. I was young. And I remember approaching a choir teacher, and they said, take these pills. To not take them.
Just okay.
Deliver these.
This is not a good dream. We should probably stop right here.
No, they said deliver these pills to, I don't remember who. She said so and so in the choir locker room.
Oh,
because the choir had a locker room for some reason.
Because you get sweaty.
You do get sweaty on stage.
You have to go shower and then change afterwards.
Yeah, so I remember walking into the locker room, which was behind a set of lockers. Maybe that's why it was called the locker room. But there were a bunch of choir kids hanging around. So inside of this room, that was behind some lockers, there was also lockers lining the wall, like all of the walls. And there was a group of choir kids in the corner just hanging around, shooting the shit. And I walked up and I was like, I have these pills to deliver. And somebody took it. I don't remember who. They took it. And then I was like, so can I be in choir? And so I try out for choir, and I distinctly remember singing. I don't remember the title of the song, but I sang it when I was in choir in high school.
Nora Jones.
No, it was a legit choir song, and it's drop dead beautiful. Like, I remember all the lyrics. Some of it is, he came like a dream in the dawn of night.
Oh. Okay.
He left like a shadow before it's noon. He is gone, and my dream is turned to strife. And I wonder and wane like the waning moon. So it's a sad, sad, sad song. And I still remember our choir teacher teaching it to us. And like just how he wanted us to emphasize the words like strife and dream. And it was just such a moving song. Okay. And I was in the top choir, not to toot my own horn, but I'm tooting my horn. I was in the top choir in high school. So we sounded fucking beautiful. And of course, we got sweepstakes, which means you get the highest scores in the competitions for choir. So that was one of the songs we got sweepstakes for, and we were just, it's a beautiful song. Look it up.
So let me tell you, next time for future, whenever you say, not to toot my own horn, you have to go, but beep, beep, you know? That's what you got to say.
Beep, beep, motherfuckers. And I remember beginning to sing it in my dream with the choir kids, and they happened to know it too, so they just joined in with me. And I remember singing it with them, and also like crying because I was being so moved by this song. And then I woke up like in real life, and I was almost crying. Almost. Not quite.
There was just water all over her face for some reason. Her eyeballs were really sweaty.
Yeah. No, they weren't. But I just remember feeling really, really sad because I was moved by the song. Song moves me.
I'm not going to lie. I cry at music very easily.
Mm-hmm. 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 I do too. Commercials even.
I don't know what commercials. I recently heard a song by The Killers, and I was looking at the lyrics, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this is really sad." Like, it doesn't sound sad. Like when you're listening to the beat and everything, it's very upbeat, you know. But then you start listening to the lyrics, and it's really like, oh shit, okay, because it's talking about living in a small town and like kids dying from taking opioids. Opioid epidemic. So,
jeez.
Yeah, it's not fun, but it's a good song.
Yeah. So songs like that, songs not just like that, but songs that I associate with memories would make me cry too, like happy songs. Yeah. Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. Shut up and dance with me. Yeah. That sometimes makes me cry.
Woman is my destiny.
Yeah, that one.
Voices, like a specifically really beautiful voice, will sometimes do it to me as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, your dream though, the song that you were talking about, In Your Dream, I think you told me about that when we were at the lake house.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that. I remembered.
It's like my favorite song that I've ever sung with a choir. Yep.
All right. Well, was that the end of that dream? Or?
That was the end of that dream. I just remember crying. I was crying. I just remember crying in my dream, singing that song, and then waking up with that in my heart.
You're saying crying like that just reminded me of your kid. And then thinking about him going to bed earlier, and I was waving at his face, and then he was just like, "Oh, okay. And then he just hugged me. I was like, okay. I thought he was just gonna wave, and then anyway. Okay, so you want to hear another sci-fi dream that I've had?
Sure.
So I was on a giant spaceship in space.
So really, sci.
Like giant. When I say giant, like it must have been like huge, like the size of a city.
Oh,
yeah. And I was in what I could only describe as a cafeteria, but one side of it was all glass, so you could just see out. You know, while you were sitting down eating or whatever, you could look at all the different stars.
You were on a cruise ship,
basically, kind of, yeah.
Nice.
But there were humans and aliens all around, so like it was definitely a mix of different things. Let's see. We had someone that wasn't supposed to be there, and she was like a prisoner, or she was not a prisoner, but she was kind of like a prisoner. I don't know. I couldn't really make out the significance of why she was there, but I knew she wasn't supposed to be there. But like, we didn't necessarily capture her, but we were like taking her back to where she was supposed to be going.
Okay.
But she was also she was trying to make it look like we had captured her.
Interesting.
And then, because she wanted to like start some kind of war between her race and the rest of, like civilized.
Up until now, it was giving me Aurora vibes.
Let's see, where was I? Okay, so between her race and the group I was with, she killed herself in the middle of this cafeteria, but she did it in a way where what?
I said, "Wow."
But she did it in a way where it looked like we did it. I don't know exactly what she did because like I can't remember all the details because I wrote it down like when I woke up. But then there was like all these other ships outside the windows right there, and one of the ships had her sister on it, and so she like fought her way on, and we tried to explain it to her like what happened, but she wasn't buying it, and she was like, "I'm ready to kick some ass," basically, and that's when I woke up.
My God, It was just getting started.
I know.
Jeez.
And I was like, man, this like I woke up thinking that'd be a really cool like idea for
a hook.
Show or a movie or something like that. And then I was like, but where the fuck would it go after that? So.
Yep, I would have liked to see where it gone.
Yeah. I would have too.
The fic. Another end to it.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have a dream I titled Roller Coaster. Suck.
Go ahead.
Roller Coaster Chicken.
Roller Coaster Chicken.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
ASMR.
I wanna guess.
Oh, do it.
Well, I mean, not like fully guess because I don't know all the details and everything, but I'm guessing it's not a literal chicken. I'm guessing it's someone's chickening out going on a roller coaster.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
Wouldn't it have been funny, though, if it was a roller coaster chicken?
Well, that's what I was hoping for. Secretly, I was like, I want you to be like, no, you're wrong. There was a chicken on a roller coaster.
It wouldn't have been the most bizarre dream tonight.
No, but it would have been funny. I would have laughed if it turned into like one of those Family Guy bits.
Yeah.
Where Peter Griffin just showed up and the chicken and him started fighting.
Oh my gosh. Family Guy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so in this dream, I remember going to a theme park, with my family, who included Nesta, the kids, and weirdly, my uncles on my mom's side. My Uncle Mike, my Uncle Sluggy, and their kids. I think my aunt was there too, but I'm not sure. Or at least I was aware that their families were there in some capacity. And I remember wanting, like, dying to go on this roller coaster. And it was, in my dream, one of the ways that it moved was, like, there was, like, imagine a tambourine, and each of the little bells in the tambourine are, like, seats.
Okay.
And it, like, the whole tambourine rolled.
Okay.
But there was two on either side, so it was, like, rolling, rolling, rolling. And also it was up in the air doing all kinds of crazy. The tambourine itself was going in a circle, and also it was spinning.
Okay.
So it was like that. And also, I remember I just got the image of, like, a pack of, like, a matchbox. Like an open matchbox.
Mm-hmm.
With, like, Tic Tacs in it.
Okay.
And then there's another matchbox, like, facing it. With no Tic Tacs in it. Okay, the Tic Tacs are people. The matchbox.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
This is how I pictured it in my brain. And the Tic Tacs were people, and the matchbox was the seats that were holding them in.
Okay.
And there was, like, maybe 9 or a dozen people in the container. And as you're going up in the roller coaster, it would spin in such a way that all of the people in their seats would be transferred to the other box.
That doesn't sound good at all.
It doesn't sound safe at all, no.
No.
So, like, you would be literally tossed in the air to land on the other seat holder, essentially, while spinning. So it'd be like, it was just like that, like a carousel of matchbox people. Anyways, so it was that kind of roller coaster where it doesn't exist, but it was like that in my dream. There were levels to going up in it. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it's because I watch, or this comes across videos on my feed a lot where the people are in the slingshot.
Oh, yeah, the slingshot.
Yeah, they start passing out.
Yeah.
So, in my dream, I just remember being in a room with like a dozen other people ready to go on this ride. And we're all locked up in our seats. And from that room, we'd be transferred in our seats up to the next level. And it would just be slowly building us up until we're at the top of the roller coaster, ready to like spin and travel down in some kind of weird, defying physics kind of way. And as we level up, there's like, we go up one level, there's a chance for us to exit the ride. Exit now, because we're going to just keep going up the more that it goes. So people get off of the ride. So there's like maybe 6 of us left in the second level. And then we go to another level, and they can exit the ride there. So more people exit the ride. And we go up to another level, and more people exit the ride. So suddenly I'm the only one in the room on the ride by myself. None of my cousins made it. None of the strangers around me made it either. And I'm on the very last level, about to go. And I'm like, no, fuck this. And then I start getting out. And then I exit the door. And I walk all the way down in shame. Down the stairs. And I land in a bar. And I think that leads into my next dream. White boy sandwich.
So you chickened out.
Chickened out.
So again, this is another dream where we don't actually get to see the main action of the dream.
Nope.
We're bad at this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it leads me into like a tiny bar area where people who have also chickened out are. And the ladies selling things in there. And it's like a dark bar. I don't know where I remembered this. And also there was a a monitor hanging up on the wall, top of the wall, and it was playing some kind of sports game that I don't know.
Ball.
Yeah, sports ball. And there are people sitting at the bar. And some guy walks up and says to the bartender, "Can I get a white boy sandwich? Extra fried." It comes with a big ass fried chicken.
Dear Lord. What?
They're like, "Coming right up." And that's the end of that dream.
A white boy sandwich. All right. And it comes with a chicken.
Fried.
A fried chicken.
Yeah.
Like a whole fried chicken?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know, right? So random.
And that voice.
Yeah, man.
Jesus. All right.
I don't know. What was going on.
You know what? Dream. When I get home, I'll make myself a white boy puppy. It's not going to have a whole fried chicken on it, though.
And don't forget your crab legs.
Yeah. I had another dream that was really short and like nothing really happened.
Okay.
But I remember it enough that like because it was a pretty dream.
Okay.
And it was not at all what it was supposed to be. But anyway, I was Ubering, but I was Ubering in Galveston.
Okay.
But the thing is, the Galveston that was in my dream, nothing like the actual Galveston. Like, it actually felt like a tropical paradise instead of that, crap hole of a town that it is. Don't get me wrong, I like Galveston.
Terrible.
I like Galveston, but it's very touristy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this was not that.
Okay.
And I remember I was taking some locals around, and I was asking what their favorite spots were on the island. And they were complaining that there were way too many Californians moving to Galveston, and it was changing the whole vibe of Galveston.
Oh.
And I had mentioned one of my favorite areas, and right as we were pulling up to it, and they were like, "Oh, we've never actually been here before." And I was like, "Yeah, when I come here, like I've never felt more at peace than I do when I'm watching the water." And that was when I woke up. Like I said, like not shit happened, except they were complaining about fucking Californians moving in and changing the vibe.
Can't stand the Californians. Just kidding.
Yeah, we love the Californians, sort of.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, they don't need to be here. They're Californians. They should be in California.
Yeah.
Being Californians.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the stat that more people move into Texas than like any other state?
No, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Texas got a lot of land.
I can't tell you how many people I've met from like Michigan in the last month. And I'm like, really? You're from Michigan? Like, why are you here?
Yeah, man.
A lot of them are just like, because it's too cold in Michigan. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
My mom's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yep. That is strange. I don't know what people want in Texas, aside from land. The heat is killer.
Well, it's like I've run into a bunch of people also that are like they're on vacation here in Dallas. I'm like, why did you come to Dallas for vacation? Like,
that's strange too. Yeah.
Of all the places you could go, like it would be like going, oh, I went to Omaha for vacation. Like, why? Why? What's there?
Well, Omaha could have some beautiful places. What's Omaha got going for them?
Nothing.
Say
it's Nebraska.
That's Idaho.
Yeah, it's Nebraska. It's corn. That's it. It's a bunch of corn.
Cornfields. Omaha. I'm sure y'all got something cool over there.
Anybody listens to this in Omaha, I'm sorry, but I'm not really.
He's sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. To be fair, I've never actually been to Omaha, but I can imagine. And you know what? It doesn't take up much space.
All right. Do we have time for one more dream?
If you've got one that you feel like you can get through.
It's kind of short.
Well, they've all been pretty short.
Yeah, this is pretty short.
Okay.
Okay. I dreamt that I was with a person. I don't remember it being Ernesto. But I was with somebody, and we're going to purchase something.
Just something. Okay.
Well, yes, before I tell you the something, it was the something. The guy who was selling the something was showing us all of the cool things that came with it. Okay, I titled this "Selling MJ's Sarcophagus."
Oh, okay.
MJ being Michael Jackson. I don't know if he's been sarcophagized.
He is not.
I doubt it.
They don't do that anymore.
Got it. Yeah. So he was in the sarcophagus. We were trying to purchase it for very cheap. We also had a tiny child who was running around playing around the sarcophagus as the salesman was like, check out how it slides out. So it was like a matchbox slide, like a drawer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an open casket or anything when it slid out. It was still just a closed box that slid out.
Yeah.
But his body was in there for sure. Because there was glass around.
Oh. So you could see him.
Yeah, so you could see him.
Okay.
And we're like, show us more. And he was showing us how, like, the thing that it came out of was also soundproof. He was like, check out the top of this part of the box. Soundproof layer.
Just in case Michael Jackson came back to life, you didn't have to hear him singing from inside his sarcophagus.
I guess.
Okay.
And he was trying to slide it back, and he's like, okay, and see how easily it slides back in. Did not slide easily in. So the product was terrible. And I was trying to tell the person I was with, I was like, this is jacked up. Like, we should not buy Michael Jackson's sarcophagus right now because what? It's not even, like, it was loose. The top was loose. It was coming off. And he just seemed like a sketchy salesperson, man.
Yeah.
Do I remember any of the features of his face? No. Or of my partner's face. Or of the child's face who was with us. But he also ended up telling us, too, that it was like some sort of specific metal. It was like titanium or something. And he was like, to protect it from radiation.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So that was one of his selling points. Radiation, how easily it slid out, didn't slide out easily. How it was soundproof in the top. But I probably wasn't because it was loose. And I was like, I am not sold on this. But my partner was like, we should get this. We should do this, right? And I was like, no. And that's all I remember of that dream.
Okay. So ever since you sent me that title and the other title about his nose job,
yeah,
I have to ask, why have you been thinking about Michael Jackson? So plugs here.
Oh yeah, I do. Listen, he's been popping up on my Amazon.
Oh yeah, okay. On your playlist. Just say playlist. Okay.
Add it.
I funny enough, I just talked about him with one of my passengers last night. But we talked about, because the guy was like, yeah, I've been trying to get away from rap and I've been trying to listen to other stuff. And he was like, I started listening to some Michael Jackson stuff. And I said, oh, that's cool. And then we started talking about the song Billie Jean. Mm-hmm. And I said, it's very catchy. It's very upbeat, very up-tempo. But the lyrics are very different to what it sounds like.
Yep.
And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. If you want to hear like a version of it that sounds more accurate to what he's talking about, you should listen to Chris Cornell's version.
Chris Cornell.
And I played him Chris Cornell's version, and he was like, oh, yeah, that's very different. I was like, yeah, it actually feels like a song where he's talking about, uh-oh, this girl caught me, cheating, and now this girl that I cheated with has a baby that's clearly mine. Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting that, you've been dreaming of Michael Jackson, and I had that.
I used to have a crush on him.
Did you really?
When I was like 3 years old.
Until he became white, and he had his white boy sandwich?
No, I still liked him.
Oh, really?
I was very infatuated. My parents recorded like Michael Jackson specials that showed on. I still remember it on VHS. Like I watched Remember the Time over and over again, the Eddie Murphy version. If that's it, the Eddie Murphy, the mm-hmm. music video for Remember the Time. I loved it. I watched Billie Jean over and over again. Loved it. What's that?
I don't
know. It's about a lady. Dirty Diana.
Oh, okay.
Watch that over and over again.
It's funny enough, I was just going to ask you, have you heard The Weeknd's version of Dirty Diana?
No.
It's good.
I bet it's really similar.
It's pretty similar, but
his voice is so similar.
There is differences enough that they're
okay.
Very
I definitely got to listen to it because I've always thought The Weeknd sounded like Michael Jackson.
Well, he did model his voice after Michael's, so.
Oh, intentionally.
Yeah.
That checks out. That checks out. Yeah, I like The Weeknd. But yeah, and even when I remember specifically liking him when I was 3 years old because I remember as a child cutting my hair right here. And I'm pointing toward like my forehead, like my side bangs. Because in a video where Michael's like, hey, pretty lady with the high heels on.
Yeah.
In that music video, he's wearing like a blue shirt. He's got like the little side curls on his head. Anyways.
Yeah.
I loved him for that. And I wanted
iconic look.
I wanted to be like that. And I wanted my name to be Billie Jean.
Oh, really?
As a 3-year-old.
Did not know that.
I actually carried that into when I was older a little bit too.
Did you really?
In like elementary school, I was like, yeah, I want my name to be Billie Jean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learning new things about you all the time.
Remember the Time? Watch that shit over and over again too. Did I already say that?
Yes.
Oh, and that one, Keep It in the Closet. You remember that one?
Mm-mm.
There's a really beautiful woman in that. That made me feel feelings.
Okay. I'm going to ride right past what that means.
You should.
Especially since you're talking about how young you were. I don't want to know any of this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All
right, so I think we've done it.
We did it.
So it's time for recommendations.
Recommendations.
All right. Do you have your recommendation?
I have one in mind.
Good.
Make sure it's actually K-drama. Yes. I'm going to recommend a K-drama called Oh My Ghost. Why? Because funny K-drama parodies have been popping up in my feed on social media recently and that are just hilarious. But anyways, Oh My Ghost is about a timid young woman who gets possessed by the ghost of a confident young woman who wants to solve her unfinished business. And guess what her unfinished business is?
Sleeping with the other lady's husband.
Close.
Oh.
Sleeping with her boss.
Oh.
Who happens to be a famous chef.
Okay.
It was a pretty interesting concept. A woman possessing another woman just to sleep with someone.
Yeah.
Simply to sleep with them. They built a whole season worth of TV series for this. And it was entertaining, funny, lighthearted, supernatural. If you're into any very just aesthetically K-drama, comedy, romance, definitely corny. Check it out.
All right.
Oh My Ghost.
Oh My Ghost. All right. Well, my recommendation. Whoa. What? Oh, okay. My recommendation is it's actually going to be a movie because you had a dream about the Wizard of Oz, or not about the Wizard of Oz, but that reminded you of the Wizard of Oz. I'm going to recommend Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
Now, it does have a very problematic actor, James Franco, in it.
Oh.
But the movie is very good. It's kind of a reimagining of the whole Wizard of Oz story.
Is it from Oz's perspective?
Sort of. He becomes like James Franco's character becomes Oz, like the wizard. Oh. But
it's an origin story.
Yes. And I believe Mila Kunis is in it as well.
I feel like I might have seen this.
Yeah, Mila Kunis is in it as well. And Zach Braff.
I like that guy.
Yeah. So if you're interested in seeing, like, you know, the Wizard of Oz story retold in a different way, you know, from a different perspective, then I would say check it out.
Check it out.
All right.
We did it.
We've done it.
Hey, hit him with the outro, Dustin. Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our $5 Patreon subscription tier.
Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts until 2024.
Thanks for that, Google.
Sirius, Pandora, and YouTube, with YouTube Music and Apple Podcasts coming soon.
You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else that you think of social media.
Also, email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com so that we can hear from some of
what you have dreamt about. And, you know, we might judge you harshly. I don't know. We'll see.
We will. But also it'll be fun, so it's cool. Thank you again for listening. Bye.
Bye. Forever.
No.